episode number 2 of casting random pubs. Today we've got a quite interesting one I found on Dota 2 Pro Tracker. Let's just skip ahead a bit and as you can see, this pub is entirely stacked. We've got multiple players from Elephant, probably party queuing from my guess, and we've got a bunch of people, exactly 2 people from psg.lgd. So I believe we are going to have a bunch of fun over here, even though I kinda have to say I'm tired, but that's no excuse for at least not casting today. And going into this match, we do have the Viper quickly warding on the high ground over here. Doesn't seem like Death Prophet wants a ward on the mid lane. When it comes to this game, I believe I'm not quite sure how top lane is going to go, because I'm not familiar with the new playstyle of Broodmother, so I believe that's going to be an interesting one to watch out for. Especially since Treant and Luna do make up for a strong dual lane.
The battle begins.
So it seems like Dire is going to secure 3 bounty runes, which isn't a bad start for them. On the bot lane we do have the Mars facing up against a Death Prophet, so Paparazzi, or let's just call them by the hero names, Death Prophet should have a great time over on the bot lane. Especially since she is playing against 2 melee heroes and she does have the Siphon later at level 2 to keep her sustained whenever they try to make a move on her. On the top lane, as I've mentioned, Luna and Treant should have a great time over here, because they are fairly strong. And they start to put up pressure against the Broodmother over here. On the mid lane, we do have the Viper starting with the first point in Nether Toxin, so he's trying to push in the wave as early as possible, get a bunch of last hits and denies. Actually, let me pull up the, not the net worth, there it is, the last hits and the denies, so we actually know what's going on over here. On the top lane we have the typical shenanigans going on. Position 4 trying to block the small camp, and the hard camp is it actually blocked by the sword? I believe it is. Or maybe it was a D-ward attempt by Treant. I'm not sure about that one. And on the bot lane we do get the side pull from the Dazzle, which will definitely help in securing this lane for the Death Prophet. I mean, she isn't having a hard time, right? But it will definitely make things easier. On the mid lane we should see a lot of pressure on the Tinker, because the Viper is now level 3. He has 2 points in his poison attack, so he's able to bully him out of lane for now. Do have a rotation from the Clockwerk over to the mid lane, probably to secure the rune over here. And the Viper does have the bottle already, so he's grateful for that and is going to fill up his bottle. And, as I said, Clockwerk picks up the other one on the top side of the map.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
There's a courier kill that I have missed. It seems like it died to neutral creeps, because it doesn't attribute a hero for the kill on the courier. The Clockwerk is already scouting out those stacks that the Tinker made over here, but he won't be able to contest it since He does have 2 points in March. Will clear up this stack nicely. I like the fact that the Tinker is jungling pretty early. Hold on the top lane. We do have the Treant Protector falling low, but he's able to run away with the Nature Skies and he's able to salve up again. So we do have some sort of a tri-lane situation up on the top. Seems like the Clockwerk doesn't feel like he's able to accomplish much on the bot lane. But the Mars is having a rough time, especially against the Dazzle and the DP, who are both ranged heroes. I really like the fact that Tinker started jungling that early because he can't really lane against the Viper post like level 3 because he gets 2 points in the poison attack. And it seems like this time around Tinker is able to secure a rune for himself. Potentially, is there a bounty rune available? Yes, there is. He potentially gets the... Never mind, he actually favors the TP to the mid lane before the Clockwerk is able to catch up and cancel it with the battery assault. On the top lane, we've got a nice pull going on. So the Broodmother has a bit of an easier time farming closer to her tower. And of course, looking at the last hits and deny chart, we can see that Death Prophet is already at 26 last hits and 13 denies, whereas the Mars has only 10 last hits and 1 deny. So he's definitely getting sacked a bit on the bot lane, especially experience-wise. And I do miss the first blood on the mid lane. It seems like the Viper was able to pick it up. On the top lane we have a bit of aggression going on onto the Treant. He's falling pretty low, but also does the Broodmother, and she's only at a 200 HP right now. Is she going to fall though? The Viper rotation is here. He gets the poison attack slow onto the Rubick, and the Rubick is going to die. Broodmother has to run for her life. Does she have a TP? No, she doesn't have the mana for it. And there are the poison attacks. She's getting slowed down. That's a lot of damage over time. There's a high ground miss, but that's not going to protect her from falling. Last hit is going to be picked up by the Treant Protector. What I tried to say earlier was we have DP now at level 6 with her ultimate, so I expect her to be pressuring either the mid tower or depending on whether or not she wants to go top and pressure that tower. But then again, we do have the Mars who's only level 4 and she also doesn't want to give him a free time on the bot lane catch up. Or she might as well use the ultimate on the bot lane right now. They are able to pressure this tower with the catapult. They do have a triple wave coming in, so there is a necessity of a TP. The Viper is going to respond. There's the glyph. They're probably not going to be happening a lot of kills down here. It's just to correctly preventing Radiant from pushing this tower. Actually, never mind, there are 3 heroes wrapping onto the DP, but she manages to kill off the Viper. Is she going to fall herself? No, there's a shallow grave from the Dazzle, and she's able to walk it off, it seems like. And she gets the heal from the ghost returning back to her from the ultimate. Treant is falling to the nuke damage of the Rubick and a few right clicks, so that's an easy pickup kill for the Radiant side. Mars in a bit of trouble, he's getting slowed down by the poison touch. There's a spear, it's not going to connect, and the Siphon as well. Double kill for the Dazzle. Picks up both of those kills. And now they should be able to push in the wave, maybe get a few right clicks on the tower. Death Prophet already having the Void Stone, getting closer to the Eul Scepter. The Tinker meanwhile does have the Soul Ring and the bottle, but isn't looking too great for him since he's still almost 2000 gold off of his EOTs. Top lane, tower's going to fall to Broodmother. She has the level 6, so she is able to spawn all those spiders and put a lot of pressure on that side of the map. Luna having a great time, finished the Mask of Madness already at the top of these CS charts. 75 CS at minute 8 is amazing, as I do miss the kill on the top lane. Ben was probably trying to hold the side of the map. On the bot lane, we do have the Viper chasing 2 heroes, but as we know, Viper is quite a slow hero, so he isn't able to catch up. I'm kinda looking forward to the Clockwerk level 6, because then he has the capability of working either together with the Mars or the Viper to secure themselves some kills. The game is even right now, because we do have 4 kills on both sides, and we have an equivalent tower situation. Well, maybe not equivalent, but we do have 2 towers removed from each side of the map as they pick up the Radiant mid lane tower. On the top lane we have the same scenario again. Treant is getting chased by the Broodmother. He has an easy time with those webs connecting on the skill, as long as he doesn't run out of them. But it takes him quite a bit chasing this Treant around. He does use 3 webs, but at the end it's probably all worth it as he gets the kill and 200 gold to his name. On the mid lane, Rubick might be in trouble. The Clockwerk, no, he doesn't go for the kill. The Viper is contesting the stacks over here. It's definitely a great move. Forces the DP to use her ultimate, but he might be falling for this, depending on whether or not Luna helps the Viper out. But is it going to be enough? No, it's not. DP has a lot of movement speed with the Yules and the boots, and also the ultimate running from her. And now Luna is a bunch of trouble. Lock has to TP to the tier 2 tower in order to save her. On the top lane, we do have the same thing again. Treant trying to hold this tower. He's definitely... well, I wouldn't say he's doing a great job because he died 2 times, but he's definitely preventing this push, as the tower is still almost at full HP, and he does have the Nature's Grasp to heal up all these towers, like he does on the bot lane right now. On the mid lane we do have the Mars picking up an Invis rune and also using it immediately. He's probably trying to find the Broodmother over here. It's definitely not an easy catch, since she's hiding in the trees, but maybe he gets the arena out, and with the... nope, the Viper is going to get scouted out, and this means Broodmother is going to retreat safely. On the bot lane we saw some pressure coming out from the Radiant side, utilizing the 10-minute catapult wave in order to put pressure onto this tower. Forces at least 1 TP from the Treant, but it seems like the tower might get healed up as soon as he does have his living armor available again. Once again, looking at the CS charts, we see that Luna is again having a great time. Like it should be 125 CS at 12 minutes, which is quite an insane number. Over here we've got, actually, is it a solo kill onto the Tinker? He was quite low apparently. He gets the hook shot to finish up the kill, but now the Clockwerk might fall for it. But it's definitely going to be a trade you want to take any time. There's the nuke from the DP finishing the Clockwerk off. Bot lane, we do have a lot of pressure onto the tower. Luna with her 160 right click is going to cleave through the tower pretty easily. And they are correctly taking over this map. As you can see, we do have kind of split. Broodmothers playing the top side of the map, or rather let's say the Dire jungle. And the Radiant side, the Luna and the Mars are playing the Radiant jungle instead. You also do have someone showing up on the top lane like the Viper or the Treant Protector to push out this wave, but also not going too far out, because there's always the possibility of getting chased down by this Broodmother over here. Tinker now does have his BOTs. He's working on the Blink Dagger next. Nothing too crazy going on with his item build. Rubick is closing on his Aether Lens, about 500 gold away from it. They are trying to make a move over here because they know they're playing the bottom side of the map. Hookshot from the Rubick, which he stole before, is not going to connect. But this gank attempt ends up in a failure for the Radiant side. We do have a chase down on the Dazzle, there's the Lucent Beam to connect, but I don't think there's any more slows or stuns to catch up. And Dire are now invading the Radiant jungle. Broodmother is of course going to contest, but she's low on mana. Mars also has a DD, but they will have to back out from here, as the rocket spam from the Tinker is coming into play. So Tinker should be able to flash farm easily now, since he has the BOTs and the Soul Ring, but also the bottle to keep him sustained. Spamming those marches on whatever lane he can, and also probably on the jungle camps. I feel like the biggest benefit for the Dire side is definitely the fact that they are capable of farming agents, pushing their net worth further. Whereas compared to the Radiant side, we don't really have someone that can farm ancients that efficiently. The Tinker isn't able to do so very easily because all of his damage is magic damage. And the Broodmother doesn't like to play her own side of the map. She wants to invade the enemy jungle as fast as possible. As we can see, Tinker is taking quite a while to clear through this ancient dragon over here. There's a bit of a break on both sides. I mean, Dire always has the potential to make a play with the hookshot and the Mars Arena. But the game has gotten quite stale because nobody wants to actually push into those marches, trying to find those kills. We do have some great warding from the Radiant side, keeping their the triangle safe, and we do have a go on the mid lane onto the Clockwerk. It's going to get slowed down, and there is going to be another kill for the Radiant side. And a second kill on the top lane onto the Mars. It seems like Broodmother isn't far from done yet, as she faces a bit forward, but then intends to go back, as she is quite low on HP. Always hard when there are multiple things going on at the same time. And especially to keep track of all the things going on. Since they have two heroes, or had two heroes, that they are able to put a bit of pressure onto this tier 2 tower. They use the DP ult for it, and it seems like Dire isn't in a position to contest this one. This means they can take over the Dire jungle a bit more effectively, since they are able to capture this outpost over here. The Luna is closing on her BKB. She does have the Mithril Hammer and also almost enough gold to buy the remaining components. We do have a smoke from the Dire side over here. They are trying to force a move onto bot lane. It might be successful. Tinker gets scouted out from the rocket, but I think he's able to blink out in time, as he does get the no, never mind, he does not. The hookshot is there to connect, the spear to follow up, and there's the God's Rebuke to finish up the kill. Mars gets another 350 gold. But there it is, the Broodmother is TPing in. Arena is going to be used. He does have the spear. Doesn't want to use it for now. There's another silence from the DP, so he doesn't use it at all. Dire might have to retreat over here. They are getting quite low. But they do have the slow onto the Clockwerk. There's the Eclipse to follow up. So they burst through the Broodmother. Dazzle is going to be able to keep him alive with his Shallow Grave. And DP is walking it off with the BKB. Dazzle is going to fall. To the damage over time from the Viper. Over on the top lane. Okay, Tinker's able to blink out, push out this wave with his marches, so he's not in a lot of trouble. Worst case scenario would be his blink getting cancelled. Then he might just die by slowly getting chased down from the Viper. Do have a great pickup from the Clockwerk. Which is to be expected. He does have the vessel to be able to reduce the healing from the Broodmother, but more importantly, healing from the Spirit Siphon from this DP, which has currently picked up an Invis rune. Rubick is able to push out the bot lane, is now responding towards top because they saw the mouse on the top wave, but he also TP'd him out. And they are trying to make a move again on the bot side of the map. But I don't think they are going to be as lucky this time around because the Tinker is hiding in the trees. We'll push out this next wave and then probably TP back to base. There's a jump forward from the mouse, but it's just to poke onto those spiders from the Broodmother, so there isn't a lot of kill potential over here. And now we do have the Luna effect from the glaives. She's already at 300 CS at minute 20 almost. And she does have the BKB online, so the next objective for Dire would be to take either a fight, or at least get one pick up or pick off, and then get into the Roshan pit. Because they definitely do have enough damage to kill Roshan. There's another smoke up from the Dire side. Mars is going to blink forward, but he doesn't connect the spear. They are still not going to be able to pick up the Rubick kill. Because he's protected by the Shadow Grave. Mars is going to fall to the laser from the Tinker. We do have Luna's BKB coming into work. Broodmother is getting pressured out of her own webs, so he has to stay on the side over here. They get 3 kills, or rather they trade 3 kills for the kill onto Mars. We do have Dire now taking control of this Radiant Triangle. As I've mentioned already, they do have enough damage. They also have someone to tank up the hits from the Roshan. Treant will do that gladly with his living armor. And actually never mind, they are retreating from it because it is scouted out by the Radiant side from those spiders as usual. And closing in onto DP's respawn. Dire doesn't feel comfortable taking this Roshan. We do have a connection onto the Rubick down on the bottom line. They do have enough damage with the spear from the Mars to secure the kill. Tinker's now in a whole bunch of trouble as he gets scouted out and hit by the Viper poison attack, cancelling his blink. He is going to fall. Viper gets another 300 gold for this kill. On the top lane we do have a lot of pressure onto this tier 1 tower, and oh my lord, this DP is going to get destroyed by this loosened beams, but he has the BKB, is able to walk it off. And Luna is actually trying to TP out. She does manage to TP out, Treant does manage to TP out as well. So not a lot of kills happening on the top lane, but We do have the Tree and Overgrowth expanded, which is now at a 90-second cooldown.
Tower is under attack.
Also have the BKB used on the Death Prophet. We do have another hook shot on the bottom lane. Curing another kill onto the Rubick. I'm a bit slow today catching all those kills. There's a Yule Scepter trying to dodge the spear, but there is the silence keeping her protected. At least not getting stunned up. There's the Shadow Grave to try to keep her alive, but it's not going to be enough as she's going to fall to the Viper again. Already on a killing spree right here, and the Broodmother is trying to connect onto this Mars, trying to salvage the situation, but she's going to get stunned up. Tinker aggressively blinking in, he gets the Mars kill, but he's stunned up as well, dead for 50 seconds, and this might be an additional pick up onto the Dazzle, curing Luna a triple kill this time around, and now they are able to pressure the high ground. With 4 heroes dead, Rubick might fall as well if he's not careful over here. He doesn't manage to get into the fountain, so it is a complete team wipe, dominating for the Viper. And they are able to pick up this bottom lane of Rex without contest. And something that I've seen quite a lot recently is this pickup onto the Aghanim shard from the Viper in pro games. Well, it's not necessarily a pro game, but in high level pubs, because it does give you this additional capability of pushing buildings and towers. And Viper definitely does lack in the tower pushing department until he gets his shard earliest at at minute 20. Luna is opting for the Daedalus. We saw her picking up a Crystallis earlier, so she does have enough physical damage for now. Now she's going to tank up, get an additional slow with the Eye of Skadi. Viper also opting for the same thing. He does have his BKB, so the next thing is going to be this Eye of Skadi. Gives you enough HP, enough mana, enough raw stats to be tanky enough in those fights. And also the BKB is going to protect from most of Radiant's damage, as they do lack a lot of physical damage in this game. The Broodmother doesn't provide any physical damage either, as she opted to go for this pipe into E-Blade build. More of a utility build, probably banking on the Tinker to carry this game, as he's getting caught another time on the bot lane. He isn't having a great time, and already we do have a 16k gold lead on the Dire side. As they are trying to chase forward, there's the BKB, but the root is coming into play. BP is going to fall. And also a 700 crit onto the Dazzle prevents him from getting out this Shadow Grave. There's another pickup onto the Broodmother. Seems like he is going to fall. Yes, there's the hook shot into the Yules. Another spear to follow up, and the God's Rebuke to finish the kill. Rubick might be able to walk it off over here, but they are chasing quite deep into tier 4 towers. They will have to retreat as he's getting closer to the base. And Luna is already trying to hit on those buildings inside the main base of the Radiant. And it's a lot of physical damage coming out over here. Also the armor reduction onto the buildings. Is the Ancient going to fall over here? Might be the case, as Luna is going to BKB. Viper is going to BKB, and there's nothing to stop them from taking down Radiant Ancients. Pretty quick game from the Dire side. I was kinda looking forward to a bit of a longer game, because we do have all those amazing players on both sides of the team, but it seems like wasn't quite enough for Radiant, especially since the Tinker having a rough time against the Viper lane. And he gets off to a bad start, gets his BOTs very late, isn't able to farm up a lot because they do put a lot of pressure on the Radiant side of the map, and Luna is able to farm uncontested and accelerating very quickly, comparing those levels. Level 23 on the Luna, level 17 on the Tinker at minute 27. This should be it for the cast of the second game.